You are looking live at historic School Field near downtown South Bend, where tonight it's high school lacrosse on Sports Michiana as the Penn Kingsmen take on the South Bend Bears in our Spring Showcase Game of the Week. How you doing, everybody? Alongside Angelo Carlo and WSBT 22's Bennett Wise roaming the sidelines. It's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for another one of our spring sports as we hit the midpoint in our spring season, and we come back to a rivalry that we featured before in the springtime, which is the South Bend Bears and the Penn Kingsmen. Penn comes in with a record of 7-5. They have played a brutal schedule. They were telling me earlier in the week that they feel like an NBA team with how frequently they've been playing. But one thing that the Pete Gillen's team is built around is defense.
No question. Aiden Deal leading the way in the back of that defense as a senior. They're all really big. It starts with Deal, who's huge in and of himself. But that's one of their biggest advantages in a game like this is their size. They can bully their opponents, and that's what they're going to look to try to do here tonight against the Bears.
The South Bend Bears come in with a record of 8-7. They beat Munster here at School Field on Sunday. And the big difference, when the ball goes in the net, the Bears look really good.
And when they have the ball, they often put the ball in the net. They're a really good scoring machine. The problem is you have to have the ball. They've had to replace their goalie from a year ago, Saul Zabukovic, who is now an assistant coach as a freshman at Notre Dame. And then they've also had trouble in the faceoff. So it's make it, take it in the sport of lacrosse. So if you can't win that faceoff and control the ball, you can't score. And that's been one of their biggest issues. But if South Bend has the ball, look out. They're trouble on offense.
WSBT 22's Bennett Wise grew up on the East Coast where lacheseries and lacrosse are big. And let's talk a little bit about how this sport is starting to develop now here in the Midwest and particularly northern Indiana.
Well, particularly it's because of the field that's just about a half a mile down the road at Arlada Stadium and the success that Notre Dame lacrosse has had, of course, 2 back-to-back national championships, playing in the NCAA tournament this weekend at Ohio State. But that has helped grow the game here in northern Indiana. Both coaches told me that they're getting a lot of kids who maybe played football and want to get conditioned for the fall, but also people who played baseball, and it's just brought more and more of these kids to the sport. And then they go, oh, my friend's playing, well, maybe I should play too. And it's just helped grow the popularity of lacrosse here in northern Indiana.
If you haven't watched it before, you're in for a treat. This should be a fun one tonight. It's Penn and South Bend. We'll get you ready for it as we introduce you to our Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week. It all comes your way next on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week.
You're watching the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week, brought to you by Tony Letcher Health Markets, Tire Rack, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, the St. Joseph County Police Department, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, Patrick, Reliance, the Lillier Insurance Agency, Big C Lumber, Crown Trophy, Ferret Custom Roll Forming, your neighborly hometown heroes, Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic, and these great sponsors.
Shopping for tires used to be like pulling teeth. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack's tire decision guide made it easy to drill down to the right tires for me.
What?
Oh, I got a great deal. My tires shipped fast and free and arrived the next day. I even got 2 years of free road hazard protection.
Where?
You're darn right, wow. Next time your tires get long in the tooth, visit TireRack.com.
TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
In need of an award? Call Crown Trophy of Mishawaka, the area's premier award provider. They've been serving the area since 2001 with cutting-edge exclusive products, personalized with state-of-the-art laser engraving technology. And Crown Trophy has more than just trophies. They offer corporate, sales, and retirement awards, along with personalized gifts and promotional products. Crown Trophy, nationally known, locally owned, where everyone's a winner.
For over 100 years, experience and inspiration have been the foundation of Big C Lumber. I'm Mark Young. Deciding on the perfect cabinetry for your home can be overwhelming. It's best to depend on our consultants with decades of experience at Big C Lumber. Your needs and wishes will be matched with our guidance in the creation of new spaces. We call this customer-inspired design, representing your personality, your style. Visit Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless.
Let's be honest, shopping for window treatments can be a real pain in the glass. Shades, shutters, blinds, drapes, the options are endless. Avoid expensive mistakes and return shipping with online retailers. Call the local team at Quality Window Treatments. Their entirely local process makes choosing the right look for your space easy. They bring the showroom to you during your in-person consultation. And with hands-off local installation, you never make a measurement. Visit QualityWindowTreatment.com to book your free consultation and see your space in a whole new light.
Your garage door keeps your home, family, and valuables safe and secure. Make sure it always looks good and works well. Precision Garage Door is your one-stop shop for design, installation, and repairs. Count on us to help you choose the right materials, style, and color for your new door. And when you need repairs, we're ready. Our friendly trained technicians work around your schedule and are available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Call your local Precision Garage Door today.
Garage doors done right.
You dream it, we design it. You need it, we've got it. We crank it out so you can crank it up. We work with purpose to power your passion. It's game on, so come on, let's elevate adventure. Let's take life to the next level today. Let's become better together. This is Patrick.
Time now for our Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher with Health Markets. We have Hunter Ricks, a junior for the South Bend Bears, alongside Josh Hickey, a senior for Penn. Josh is a member of the lacrosse team, has a 3.9 GPA, a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and he is the youngest of 6 Hickey kids that have played sports at various roles at Penn. What has that experience been like, being the youngest member of your family, and you guys are all well-known athletes?
I mean, it's kind of a privilege, like just getting to grow up and see everybody play. It helps me learn about just all sports in general. So, it's kind of nice just watching them succeed, and then it kind of helps me play through.
You're going to go to the Kelly School of Business at IU Bloomington. Why business? Why IU Bloomington?
My dad's a business guy, so, I learn a lot from him. Just business has always been a thing for me, and Kelly, it's a great school, so I'm glad I get to go there.
What does being a Penn Kingsman mean to you?
It's awesome. I mean, everybody wants to beat Penn, so it's nice to have that competition at all times. I'm a very competitive guy, so it's just fun. It's fun to always, be competitive and play with everybody.
Josh, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
One of the guys that does want to beat Penn tonight is Hunter Ricks, a junior for the Bears. He is goes to school at Adams High School, 3.6 GPA, also plays hockey. How do you balance everything between, playing multiple sports and academics?
Well, it helps that, I've done it kind of my entire life, but for starters, I kind of just take it slow, and if there's a conflict between school and hockey or lacrosse, I kind of just talk it out, and whatever's in season, if lacrosse in season, it's lacrosse mode, and hockey comes second priority, but during the hockey season, it's all hockey and no lacrosse.
And then you want to go into the medical field eventually to study. Why is that?
Well, my dad's an athletic trainer, so I've kind of grew up around that kind of environment my entire life, and it interests me. Yeah.
What does being a South Bend Bear mean to you? Usually we say, what does being a John Adams Eagle? You're both of those, but being a South Bend Bear specifically, what does that mean to you to be a part of this lacrosse organization?
It's real special. I haven't been playing very long, but the short time I have been playing, it's been very influential in my life, and I kind of, gravitate towards the team and how the coach is, and we have a very well-run organization.
Hunter, thank you very much. Hunter Ricks, Josh Hickey, our Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher with Health Markets. We have the opening face-off of high school lacrosse from School Field in our Sports Michiana Game of the Week coming up next.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Founded in 2001 by brothers Sam and Levi, Reliance has built a reputation for excellence, providing high-quality home building and renovation services to the Michiana area. From single-room renovations like kitchens and bathrooms to building your dream home from the ground up, everything benefits from their decades of experience. From concept to completion, Reliance makes even the largest projects simple and hassle-free. To find out more, visit RelianceGBR.net. Reliance. Design, build, renovate.
When contractors and OEMs need quality electrical products at the best prices, they look to Babsco Supply. We strive to supply all the electrical products you need for residential, light commercial, and OEM electrical components. We have the knowledge, dedication to customer service, and extensive inventory to ensure your electrical projects are completed successfully. We are employee-owned, which means all of our employees are owners. So you know we care. With locations in Elkhart and Warsaw, Babsco Supply is working together to serve you better. Learn more at babsco.com.
Your car carries precious cargo. It needs to be dependable, rain or shine. Let Tom's Car Care Center in South Bend help take the stress out of your car's maintenance. We'll change your oil in 10 minutes, flush your transmission, replace your wiper blades, and much more. Oil changes include a half-price car wash when needed. Welcome to your extended family, Tom's Car Care Center.
Are you tired of auto service from big box stores and new car dealers? 45 years ago, my parents, Bud and Diane, founded Zolman's with a strong commitment to the community. Today, Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care is still family owned and operated with over 150 employees and families. And we offer a price match guarantee on any tires from any local dealer, while providing complete auto service on all makes and all models, serving you and your family for 3 generations. Buy local, shop local. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care.
Just graduated high school and now wondering what's next? Ready to start making a difference? Now is your chance. The St. Joe County Police Department Correctional Officer's starting pay is $50,000. Working in the jail can teach you life skills that you can use as a correctional or police officer. Benefits include vacation, medical, dental, and vision. For more information, call Sergeant Kylie Williams at 574-245-6263 or apply at sjcpd.org.
We found out about Notre Dame Federal Credit Union through a friend. We were nervous about growing interest rates, but Notre Dame Federal Credit Union communicated the entire way through that process and made us feel like we made a good move. Finding a house was the tricky part, but securing financing and going through the purchase process with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, that was the easy part. That was simple. We would highly recommend working with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. The customer service is amazing.
In 1969, America celebrated men landing on the moon. Now the USA is trying to return, and Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is helping pave the way. IFT is providing paint, chemical conversion coatings, and non-destructive testing services for NASA's Space Launch System and Orion spacecraft, which will deliver astronauts to the moon and possibly Mars. Help make it happen by joining the Imagineering Finishing Technologies team at iftww.com/careers.
Yes, I was just in a bad car accident. I need help.
I'm in a call center. How am I supposed to help you? Did you buy this insurance over the interweb?
Yes.
You think this can wait till after my lunch break?
No, your lunch can wait.
When this happens, you'll understand why it's important to have a local agent. The Lilliard Insurance Agency is just that agency. We're a local agency and we're here to take care of you. Call the Lilliard Agency today.
For over 100 years, experience and inspiration have been the foundation of Big C Lumber. I'm Mark Young. Deciding on the perfect cabinetry for your home can be overwhelming. It's best to depend on our consultants with decades of experience at Big C Lumber. Your needs and wishes will be matched with our guidance in the creation of new spaces. We call this customer-inspired design, representing your personality, your style. Visit Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless.
And this edition of the Spring Sports Michiana Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. We welcome you back to our St. Joseph County Police Department pregame show before high school lacrosse here at School Field. Time now for the starting lineups. Here's on.
All right, let's take a look at the Penn starters, brought to you by Monterey Mexican Grill in Mishawaka. Ben Stambaugh is the goalie, a junior, 55% save percentage. The attackmen, Zach Woods, Carson Bays, juniors scoring 21 goals this season. Brooks Clark leads the way in the midfield, a senior, 30 goals, 26 assists. And Aiden Deal, the leader in the defense as a senior, a 3-year starter and captain. For the Bears, they have an outstanding offense, as we've mentioned. It is led by Ben Nevala and Sam Evans. Combined, they have 74 goals this season. In the midfield, the senior Ian Strasser leads the way. He's also the face-off man. The defense is led by Hunter Ricks, who we just heard from as our student athlete of the week. He has 59 ground balls on the season to lead the way for the Bears.
The series history between these two teams doesn't go that deep because they just started playing lacrosse around 2019. Penn leads the series by a count of 5-1, and that includes a 12-3 victory here at TCU School Field last year on April 12th of 2024. And Anj, let's check in with what the teams are wearing, brought to us by It's Tops in Mishawaka.
Yeah, the Penn Kingsmen are wearing black with gold helmets. They have Kingsmen written in the front of the jersey in white. And for the South Bend Bears, they have black shorts, yellow tops this evening, and outlined in black as well with the numbering and names.
Let's quickly check in on our Lilliard Insurance keys to win. For the Bears, for Penn, they want to be able to move a lot off the ball to free-flowing offense, win the face-offs, including this opener brought to us by our neighborly hometown heroes, and bend, don't break. That has to do with Ben Stambaugh in goal for South Bend. Vacuum up those ground balls, mix it up defensively, and do the little things right. The opening face-off won by the Penn Kingsmen, although South Bend still battling for the ball here as we get underway on a beautiful night for lacrosse here at School Field.
I'm going to give that win to South Bend in the long run because that was a loose ball, ground ball. So that's a critical win for the Bears who have struggled. And all face-offs here tonight are going to be brought to you by John Adams High School. Our first quarter sponsor is Primary Care Partners of South Bend.
Bly Johnson comes in off the bench and takes the ball from Ian Strasser, and it's Johnson, the senior with 25 goals behind the net, trying to size things up. Johnson being covered by Brooks Clark. Johnson in front of the goal, got it across to Owen McNally. McNally now down in the corner. He finds his teammate Ben Nevala. Nevala, a member of the hockey team at Adams. A little bit on the diminutive side, so he'll bring it back outside, get away from this big Penn defense, but he throws the ball away, and it'll be the Penn Kingsmen getting control of the ball over on the other side.
Want to help your team look great? It's Tops can help. They're the official outfitter for a number of local schools and even Sports Michiana, and they can do a lot more than just clothes. Learn more at itstops.net.
Brooks Clark sends it over to the far side, and now it's Carter Good, the midfielder, running up the far side. Good sends it back behind the net. That's Zach Woods. Woods being covered by Ryan Brown. As the Kingsmen move it outside to Josh Hickey, the senior midfielder. Hickey looking for room to operate, trying to get around Levi Ricks. Hickey got the step on Ricks, but couldn't get by him, and now throws it back behind the net for Woods. Woods back to Hickey. Penn showing good ball control here. Carter Good to the near side now. And it comes to Carson Bays, the attack man. Got to keep an eye on this guy. He has an open lane. He fires, and it's saved by Klingenpeel, the goalie for the South Bend Bears. Penn retains possession. So Ted Klingenpeel answers the challenge on the first shot of the night that he faces. Penn, though, in control. They get it outside to Hickey. Hickey puts a move on, fires, goal. Josh Hickey with his 20th goal of the season. And the young man featured in our Tony Letcher Student Athlete of the Week feature just got inside on that Bears defense, and Clintonpeel had no shot.
You see the replay brought to you by Holiday Properties, a leading full-service real estate firm specializing in development, land acquisition, design, build, and property management. With a commitment to quality and service, we manage, develop, and invest in properties that enhance communities. Learn more at holidayproperties.com. And this face-off brought to you by John Adams High School.
So Penn grabs an early 1-0 lead, and they win the face-off here. And again, it's Hickey with the ball. Hickey running down into the offensive zone. Sends it back outside to Brooks Clark, the dangerous midfielder who had, as Anj mentioned, leads this team with 30 goals on the season. Clark dodging his way deeper into Bears territory. Tosses it back outside to Hickey.
Good patience here from Penn, not forcing anything, waiting for their opportunity just as they did on that last possession that opened up the way for the goal.
Woods came all the way out from behind the net as Penn tried to rotate things around, set up some screens. Ryan Brown just mowed over one of the Penn attackers. Here's a move by Carter Good. Good. Fires. Scores. Carter Good over the head of Ted Clintonpeel for the goal. For Good, it's his 10th of the season. The sophomore rings it up. You get another look from Holiday Properties.
Good shot. Goes upper net. Gets it to go. John Adams High School, our face-off sponsor, home to more than 100 sports and clubs. Science Olympiad, mock trial, quiz bowl, all finished top 5 in Indiana last school year. Our soccer, basketball, baseball, and unified flag football and track teams have all won sectional titles the last few years. Go Bears.
Exactly 1 minute after Hickey rang up the first goal of the night, Good responds with goal number 2. Penn with a quick 2-0 lead, and the face-offs that have been a problem for the South Bend Bears, can they finally get this one and get possession back?
It's been the ground ball. It hasn't been the face-off, man. It's been the ability to secure the ball after the face-off, and there you see the Kingsmen coming away with it once again.
It was Keegan Wheeler who came up with it that time for Penn. They feed Zach Woods to the far side, now Brady Bauer.
And again, the Bears have a prolific offense, but you can't score if you don't have the ball.
Hickey penetrating, sets it up in front, and Woods couldn't pull the trigger on the shot, and he's hurt down there at the back of the end zone. And the ball went off of Woods, and so it looks like South Bend will get possession.
Williams Family Chiropractic in Granger is a family-focused practice that treats newborns to professional athletes and everyone in between. They offer high-level chiropractic care, digital x-ray diagnostics, and non-surgical spinal decompression. Google Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic to learn more.
Hunter Ricks brings it up the field for the Bears. His cross-field pass gets dropped that time by Wyatt Lichty. The ball loose on the ground, and again, Penn comes up with it. This is Brooks Clark. Clark passing the midfield mark. Clark all the way down to the 30. Still on the run, fires high, and that one goes out, but Penn was closest to it, so the Kingsmen retain possession. That's one of the rules in lacrosse. When that ball goes out of bounds, whoever is closest to it gets possession. Here's Carson Bays on the attack for the Kingsmen. Bays trying to put a move on, gets inside, fires low, and scores. Carson Bays rings it up, his 22nd of the season, and the tight end from the football team gives Penn an early 3-0 lead. You'll get another look from Holiday Properties.
Good look indeed, and had the open lane, got the good shot off, and the Bears haven't found an answer defensively here so far as Penn has opened up a 3-0 lead. Before the game, we interviewed our Student Athletes of the Week presented by Tony Letcher. Tony is a lifelong resident of Michiana and a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets. If you need insurance, Tony is your guy. Google Tony Letcher Health Markets to connect.
Bays is a tough guy to stop anyway. He comes from a lacrosse family. Both his brother and his sister play college lacrosse. He had a first-team All-Northern Indiana Lacrosse Conference season last year. Ball still loose on the ground. Who's going to come away with it? Both teams battling, and finally it's Penn that scoops it up again as Bo Yetterberg comes up with it.
Ball's loose again, but ultimately, the Kingsmen have possession.
Ball comes outside to Zach Woods. Woods directing traffic and allowing his team to get set into an offensive flow right here. Ryan Brown managed to get Woods to drop the ball, and Brown comes the other way for South Bend. The big senior lobs it down the field into no man's land, and ball still loose. Finally, Penn will scoop it up. That's Aiden Deal knocking it forward to Woods. Woods now to Carson Bays. Bays, who already has a goal in this game, gets it back over to Woods. Woods lost it, and South Bend will scoop it up, or try to at least. Ball still loose as Hunter Ricks couldn't get a ground ball pickup, and now it goes out of bounds off Penn. And we've got a timeout on the field. 5:56 to go here in the first. 3-0 Penn on Sports Michiana.
Let's be honest, shopping for window treatments can be a real pain in the glass. Shades, shutters, blinds, drapes, the options are endless. Avoid expensive mistakes and return shipping with online retailers. Call the local team at Quality Window Treatments. Their entirely local process makes choosing the right look for your space easy. They bring the showroom to you during your in-person consultation. And with hands-off local installation, you never make a measurement. Visit QualityWindowTreatment.com to book your free consultation and see your space in a whole new light.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Tire Rack. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be.
Our first quarter sponsor, Primary Care Partners of South Bend, offering high-quality medical care to all ages. They're committed to understanding your medical needs. Located near Howard Park in South Bend, they offer early morning and Saturday hours. Thank you, Primary Care Partners of South Bend.
Penn with a 3-0 lead and scoring by three different players. That's nothing new for the Kingsmen. They have had numbers from numbers this year. They have 5 different players who have scored at least 20 points. That's goals and assists combined this season. And actually that number goes up to 6 after the goal by Josh Hickey to start things off tonight.
Monterey Mexican Grill cheers on the Kingsmen. Do you know that Monterey has an upstairs event space that holds up to 120 people that can be perfect for a high school graduation party or any special event? They cater options for any budget. Monterey Mexican Grill in Mishawaka on McKinley.
Now the officials are checking sticks down there on the field. And I don't know if Penn had somebody with too long a stick. Bennett Wise is right down there in the midst of what's going on. Bennett, what do you see down there that's getting a question by the official?
We have an illegal stick, one for each team. Deep hole that was too pinched, and then I believe too deep a pocket on a Penn stick as well.
Okay, very good.
Bennett getting on the true details of the sticks. That's what it's good to have a lacrosse guy down there.
Well, you'll notice there are players that have longer sticks. There are players that have shorter sticks. But you have to be careful of how deep the pocket is because obviously the deeper the pocket, the more velocity you're able to get on a shot. Here's Bly Johnson with the ball now. South Bend working it around the front of the net for Penn.
There's a flag that came out, so South Bend's going to have a man-up advantage here. But an opportunity to score beforehand.
I think they're going to call Cal Warzon for a penalty there. In the meantime, let's see what South Bend can do with it here. As Sam Evans with 42 goals, where's number 11? He's got the ball right now. And Evans looking for some room to move, but Penn really packing that defense in. Evans fires, scores! Sam Evans with his 43rd of the season. A nifty little shot to the lower left corner. You'll get another look from Holiday Properties. It gets the Bears on the board. They trail 3-1.
Well, we said in the open, if they have the ball, they can score. The problem tonight has been they haven't had the ball that much, but they were able to draw something up during the timeout and able to get the offense going, and they had their opportunity. Took it really only the second true possession South Bend has had deep into Penn territory. The first one came in the first minute, if you recall, Chuck, and since then they have not really had possession of the ball, and here comes a critical faceoff brought to you by John Adams High School. Can the Bears gain some momentum by winning this faceoff, which again has been a problem tonight and all season?
The sophomore Colin Hickey wins it for Penn as he got the better of the senior Ian Strasser there. And now it's Brady Bauer with the ball for Penn. Bauer outside to Brooks Clark. Clark with 30 goals on the season. He's committed to go to Hope College. Will study kinesiology. Got it over to Josh Hickey. It's Hickey moving inside to the 20, now to the 15.
We'll have to update our Tire Rack scoreboard there. It is 3-1 Penn at the moment. 4:40 remaining here in this opening period.
Clark fires and scores. Brooks Clark with his 31st goal of the season. And he pads the Kingsman margin to 4-1. You'll get another look here from Holiday Properties.
Good shot there by Clark as he gets the job done. They've had some nice spacing and great opportunities for some good looks. South Bend really needs to get men on men here in this defensive front because they've had trouble being able to really lock in and, get the sticks on the sticks. Then that's where you can knock the ball loose and prevent the good shots from happening as we get another faceoff here brought to you by John Adams High School.
Sal Curran-Munoz goes into the faceoff position now for South Bend as the Bears try to get some possession against Colin Hickey. Ball kicked away. It's still loose. It's still loose as the sticks collide down there. People getting shoved to the ground. Munoz goes down, and that's a blow to the head. That'll be a penalty on Penn.
South Bend will gain possession, and it looks like they will have a man-up advantage here as a result of that penalty and an opportunity, hopefully, for them to be able to get a good possession here, and hopefully the Bears player is okay after taking that shot.
I believe the call is going to go against Aiden Deal, the big 6'3", 230-pound defenseman for Penn.
And that's a double whammy then because Penn not only goes to a man down, they also lose one of their top players. And there you saw the contact. Certainly a hard hit and a man-up advantage coming up here for South Bend Bears. Your home deserves the best, and your neighborly hometown heroes are here to deliver. Glass Doctor secures your home with expert glass care. Mr. Handyman takes on small fixes to bring improvements, and 5-star painting revitalizes your space inside and out. Trust the pros who bring you peace of mind above all else.
Can South Bend take advantage of the man advantage here? Sam Evans up top now. Has it over on the left side. They move the ball around very well, but Penn playing a box defense, down a man here. The shot by Evans, stopped by Ben Stambaugh. He has been terrific in his first season in between the pipes for the Kingsmen, and Stambaugh came up with a big save right there. Stambaugh set a single-game mark. He had 27 saves in Penn's loss to Zionsville last weekend. But a shot up front, and he makes another one on Evans as Evans tried to go down low on Stambaugh, who was up to the cause.
Wow. Stambaugh with back-to-back saves. That one even better. I think he might have done that one with his feet. Impressive effort there by the Penn Kingsman goalie. After Penn was unable to clear the ball, South Bend got the ball back, had the man advantage, but unable to score again. But again now with the ball and still up with that man advantage.
They send it behind the net to Nevela. Nevela out front. Wind and fire and a shot and a score. That's Bly Johnson's 26th of the year. The Muskingum College commit scores here on the Holiday Properties replay as he wound and fired.
Makes it 4-2 as Johnson with his 26th goal of the season on the year overall. He has been very impressive for this South Bend Bears team. He has 29 assists coming into this game, so he's over 56 points now on the season.
South Bend narrows the margin to 4-2. Good news, Sal Curran-Munoz back out there after taking that shot to the head from Aiden Deal. And a push-off called on Munoz, so it'll give Penn possession.
Penn has won 4 of the face-offs here tonight, 4 of the 6 face-offs so far here this evening.
4-2 on the face-offs, 4-2 on the scoreboard right now.
And you see how big of an advantage winning the face-offs is right there on the scoreboard because you got the extra 2 possessions.
Penn working it behind the net. Brady Bauer with it right now. Bauer out to Brooks Clark. Clark goes behind the goal line. They're double-teaming Clark back there, so a little bit of a change in the defense for South Bend, and Clark throws it away. The ball trickles towards the sidelines, but Penn was able to scoop it up. Jack Swanson got to it. Now Swanson loses it, And South Bend tried to keep it in bounds, but it winds up in the netting of Carson Bays.
Now, it was an unreleasable penalty on Deal, so he is still in the box. So Penn is still playing a man down right now. So here on this offensive side, they are playing 5 against 6. And then if you count the goalie, 5 against 7 right now and doing a decent job of it. So now that South Bend gets the ball back, and it looks like they will not retain the ball back because there is a violation against the Bears, and it'll be Penn ball here.
That was a good knockdown by Jack Swanson back there in the corner. But the violation giving the ball back to the Kingsmen. 2 minutes left, first quarter, 4-2 Penn, as you see on the TireRack.com scoreboard. Carter Good out front. Good. Stumbling, and a penalty is going to be called here, and it's going to go against the South Bend Bears.
Our Yoder Construction, proud contractor of the new Penn Fieldhouse, celebrates the spirit of competition on the field today. For your next winning project, trust our Yoder Construction, building with purpose, serving with character.
Sal Curran-Munoz called for the elbow.
So that'll take away the man advantage for South Bend, and once Deal gets back on the field, Penn would actually get a man advantage, depending on how much time is left on the penalty for Deal.
Actually, correction, they're going to call the penalty on Hunter Ricks. And so with 1:42 to go here, both clubs even in terms of men on the field.
Now another flag has come out onto the field. I'm not really sure what that one was, but it will be against South Bend.
I think it might go against Ryan Brown as Brooks Clark tries to go around Brown here. Clark back behind the net, currently guarded by Wyatt Lichty. Now out in front, a shot and a goal. And it's put in by Josh Hickey, his second of the game, and it's 5-2 in favor of Penn.
Take a look at the replay brought to you by Holiday Properties as Hickey able to get it. Not an easy possession there, but able to shoot it in and retain possession, and the flag will be waved off as a result of the goal. And the Kingsmen are up 5-2, and another face-off coming up here brought to you by John Adams High School. A reminder that, or a thank you, we should say, to Linda and Warren and everyone at Rocco's for feeding our crew tonight with their awesome pizza and Julia salad. Rocco's located just up the road from School Field on St. Louis Boulevard. Rocco's Pizza, a South Bend tradition since 1951.
The crew just inhaled that pizza tonight. Here's Guarachi winning the face-off. Ball now in the hands of Woods, saved by Klingenpeel. And it caroms out to South Bend, and the Bears are on the run with Jack Swanson. Swanson running down the field, lost control of the ball, but regains it. And South Bend can now set up its offense as we go under a minute here in the first quarter. Owen McNally back behind the net. McNally with 16 goals on the year gets it over to Ben Nevela.
We are now even strength on both sides.
Nevela trying to work around a defender. Gets it out in front. Shot saved by Stambaugh. He thwarts Evans again. South Bend gets it back. McNally shoots and Stambaugh stops another one. That's his fourth of the first quarter.
Wow.
Here comes Josh Hickey the other way. Hickey hoping to set up Penn for a shot in the final 10 seconds here of the first quarter. Sam Hubert sends it across. Down low, Woods, Klingenpeel with the save right there. He took one off the breadbasket. He'll need the quarter to recover, and we have come to the end of one here at School Field in South Bend. The Penn Kingsmen off to a 5-2 lead against the South Bend Bears. A lot of scoring, a lot of excitement. High school lacrosse on Sports Michiana.
Shopping for tires used to really grind my gears. So many tires, and the thought of choosing the right one made me, precisely. That's before I...
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Ledger today to schedule your free consultation or visit tledger.com.
Shopping for tires used to really grind my gears. So many tires, and the thought of choosing the right one made me, Precisely. That's before I went to TireRack.com. I got the best deal hands down. My tires ship fast and free, arrive the next day like clockwork. Tire Rack even gave me 2 years of free road hazard protection. Precisely.
TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Reliance. Design, build, renovate. Chuck Freeby, Angelo Carlo, third member of our crew tonight, WSBT 22's Bennett Wise. While Ben Stambaugh was certainly a standout at one end for Penn, Teddy Klingenpeel has really overcome a lot in his first season between the pipes, hasn't he?
Yeah, and it's just his second year playing lacrosse as a whole. And talking to Coach Hoy Coach Hoy before the game, he was kind of saying that they needed a goalie this year. They didn't have anybody really slated to do so. And Klingenpeel came in and said, I want to do it. He has since really worked at it. Coach Hoy has been impressed with his overall feel of playing goalie in the first year, because it's extremely difficult because you're stopping a ton of shots and you're putting your body on the line, and it's been very impressive.
Team switch ends here as the second quarter begins. Quarter being brought to us by Ferret Custom Roll Forming. They form value. Zach Woods gets it down low. Klingenpeel makes the save right there.
He's done a nice job since that initial onslaught of shots from Penn. It hasn't been easy. As we mentioned, the Kingsmen have had open lanes for their shots, so he's had a difficult way, and he's stepped up in a big way, as Bennett has mentioned, not only in the season, but really in this game.
In front, and Klingenpeel stops another one at point-blank range off the stick of Carson Bays.
He didn't even know for sure if he stopped it. He just put the stick up there, and luckily for him, the ball hit it, and that's what it has to happen sometimes. You do have to have some luck in this game as well.
Well, it's really tough for the goaltenders down here at the east end of the stadium because they're staring right into the sun at this hour. Here's Zach Woods with a shot, and that one off of Klingenpeel.
Three straight in this quarter for Klingenpeel.
Woods tried to find Bays, and Bays fanned on the pass. It comes back outside to Carter Good. Now a shot and a score. That's Brooks Clark, and you cannot let him get the ball that close. Clark's second of the night gives the Kingsmen another one here, and they are up 6-2.
Take a look at the replay brought to you by Holiday Properties. We mentioned our second quarter brought to you by Ferret Custom Roll Forming, the best choice in metal fabrication, providing ISO certified quality with unparalleled service and support at Ferret Custom Roll Forming. We form value. Learn more at ferretrollforming.com.
Another face-off at midfield. And Penn has certainly had the better of these tonight. And David Guarachi comes up. Almost controlled that one, but not quite. And South Bend is able to get it back with Ian Strasser. So let's see if the Bears can take advantage here. Strasser running through the shadows down at the west end of Schoolfield. Gets it back outside. Bly Johnson, who's already scored one goal tonight. He had 3 in the game against Penn last season. Very deliberate approach here. Now Sam Evans directing traffic.
Well, every possession matters so much for South Bend because they've had it for such a limited period tonight.
Evans being checked by David Guarachi.
They just can't afford to waste any opportunities. But Stambaugh's made that difficult because he's been so stingy in the net.
Evans looking, shot, and it's saved by Stambaugh. What a play.
Oh, a little flash there on the save as well.
He knocked it with the stick up into the air and then corralled it and fed it ahead to Eli Shoemaker. But Shoemaker drops it, and it's retained briefly by South Bend, but the Bears lose it out of bounds, and Penn will get it back.
Yeah, Bly Johnson looked like he had forced a turnover there, but South Bend unable to retain the possession.
Max Middlebrook couldn't come up with it for the Bears. Penn in possession, up 6-2.
If you're wondering, Middlebrook, a New Prairie student, 4 different schools represent the South Bend Bears. mostly John Adams High School, but they are also represented by New Prairie, Riley, and St. Thomas More.
The Griffins of St. Thomas More. Ball inside, and Dylan Donaleski tried to make a spin move, lost the ball, and it comes away to Bly Johnson in South Bend. Boy, Johnson just gets hammered by Dylan Donaleski. The ball pops loose. It'll be South Bend ball.
Thank you to Tire Rack for being the scoreboard sponsor for the Sports Michiana Game of the Week. Need new tires? Visit TireRack.com. Check out their easy-to-use tire decision guide. Tires, wheels, and more will help you get there.
Hunter Ricks started running up the field for South Bend, and the official says, wait a minute, we got to restart things. Ricks with that long stick. And a timeout called by South Bend. We'll take it as well. 8:36 to go, first half, 6-2 Penn on Sports Michiana.
Your garage door keeps your home, family, and valuables safe and secure. Make sure it always looks good and works well. Precision Garage Door is your one-stop shop for design, installation, and repairs. Count on us to help you choose the right materials, style, and color for your new door. And when you need repairs, we're ready. Our friendly trained technicians work around your schedule and are available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Call your local Precision Garage Door today.
Garage doors done right.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to us by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Our spring sports continue on Sports Michiana next Wednesday night as we head back to the baseball diamond. A key Northern Lakes Conference game will be played down at Warsaw. Northwood goes in and takes on the Tigers, who are among a logjam, tied for first in the Northern Lakes Conference. So we'll get to see Andy Maine's ball club play. 5:45 for the first pitch. We're on the air with the pregame at 5:30. Hope you'll join us next week on Sports Michiana. Watch our games on Facebook, YouTube, and IHSAA TV. And, of course, we're always happy to share it with WSBT 22. Now we have a flag thrown. Another illegal stick has been discovered here.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend, longtime supporter of high school athletics. They're also helping NASA send astronauts back to the moon. Want to help? Learn more on joining the Imagineering Finishing Technologies team at iftww.com/careers.
Carson Bays is found to be the offender for Penn. And so South Bend will get the chance to go on the power play here.
South Bend's best friend tonight has been the illegal stick usage by the Kingsmen.
So it's Bly Johnson who will start things off with the ball here for South Bend. Owen McNally now on the far side.
That'll be a 2-minute non-release for a pinch stick. Ball doesn't roll out as a result.
Johnson fires high, and it goes wide, but South Bend is closest to the ball, so the Bears will retain possession. Ben Neville up behind the net.
With a 2-minute non-release, you can get multiple opportunities. If you can get a goal here in the first minute or so, then you get another chance for another one.
And a whipping shot and a score by South Bend. It's Max Middlebrook who connects for his 5th of the year. That's 5 straight games where the New Prairie High School student has scored a goal. You get another look on the Holiday Properties replay.
And while we mention that, our prayers are with the New Prairie community here tonight. There has been an accident involving their JV baseball team and on a bus. So we are praying for the entire New Prairie community and all involved in that accident.
Absolutely. We had the Cougars on Sports Michiana just a couple of weeks ago playing baseball. Here's a face-off one. Well, it's still loose, and it's won by South Bend. We'll see if the Bears can get right back in this thing with Hunter Ricks carrying the ball up the field.
Still plenty of time on this power play for the Bears.
Ricks leaves it off for Neville.
I mean, the way this game started didn't give the Bears much of a chance of staying in it, but now at 6-3 with possession.
And a shot to goal, and again it's Middlebrook. So Middlebrook with back-to-back goals just 27 seconds apart, and all of a sudden the Bears are right back in it at 6-4.
The man-up specialist, Max Middlebrook. As you take a look at the replay brought to you by Holiday Properties, Middlebrook going underneath on the shot with the riser for the goal.
Middlebrook, a three-sport athlete. He plays tennis, hockey, and lacrosse, so he likes to have a stick in his hand of some sort.
And another face-off here, won by the Bears. That's 3 in a row. We've talked about the issues with the opportunities in the face-offs, and they have won 3 in a row.
And I think South Bend, we've got another timeout here on the field with 7:30 to go in the first half. It's 6-4 Penn on Sports Michiana.
You dream it. We design it. You need it. We've got it. We crank it out so you can crank it up. We work with purpose to power your passion. It's game on, so come on. Let's elevate adventure. Let's take life to the next level today. Let's become better together. This is Patrick.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Lilliard Insurance Agency. Real people, real service, real value. Well, we have told you all along how good South Bend is when they are on offense, and it's really shown up in their final results this year. The Bears are 8-0 when they are able to score in double digits so far this season, and they're on pace for that right now with 4 goals here early in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of whether or not they can have possession of the ball, and they've done an excellent job of winning the last several face-offs, which has allowed them to be in position to come back here, and they still have a man-up advantage, I believe, out on the field right now.
They do.
And that has also helped them as they've scored 2 goals on this non-release penalty for that illegal stick.
Owen McNally gets it over to Bly Johnson. Now it's Sam Evans with a shot and a goal, and all of a sudden it's 6-5.
Sam Evans with his 44th goal of the season. You look at the replay, brought to you by Holiday Properties, and then watch Sam Evans. A little excitement after. You can feel the momentum in the bodies of the South Bend Bears right now as they have scored 3 straight goals. It was 6-2 running away from them. Suddenly it's 6-5. They've got all the momentum in the world here right now.
3 goals in 59 seconds. They're suddenly the Winnipeg Jets. And another face-off is going to be won by South Bend. You see the players who are back at the 30-yard line, they can't go past that until the ball is controlled, and that's one of the reasons they were just standing there. But the ball loose now, and it's going to be scooped up by South Bend. Thrown away, though, in the eagerness of Neville to get the ball across to Owen McNally. He makes his second turnover of the night, and Penn gets it back with a 1-goal lead. Here comes Hunter Hardy, and he loses the ball to South Bend. Here comes Bly Johnson for the Bears. Johnson at the 35-yard line will allow the rest of his offense to get set. Johnson lobs it down low. Ball lost by Neville. And Neville battling for it. Finally has control of it. Middlebrook on the far side. He's had the hot hand here in the second.
We are even strength, by the way. We've been here for the last little bit, but we are even strength again.
Middlebrook. Back to McNally. Now Evans to McNally from the point. McNally trying to get a screen. Sends it down low to Ian Strasser.
Lane's a little harder now that we're even strength for
It
the,
sure
for
is.
the Bears. Unlike the last 3 goals when they had the man-up advantage.
Bly Johnson on the outside. The right-hander was looking for a lane to shoot for, but didn't have the stick on the proper side to pull the trigger.
In fact, I believe 4 of the 5 goals for South Bend have been on the power play.
Middlebrook trying to spin, well defended. Tried to get it over to Johnson, and Aiden Deal was able to knock it down, and the big fella's on the run. Look out for the all-conference tackle from the football team. 6'3", 230, headed to Michigan State. but he lost control of the ball, and it goes out of bounds. It'll go to South Bend.
The Penn Boosters always cheer for the Kingsmen. Last year, the Boosters awarded over $110,000 to various academic clubs and teams. Support the Penn Boosters by following them on Facebook or go to pennboosters.org.
And then South Bend throws it away, and Penn will get it back. So the Kingsmen back in their defensive zone with Brooks Clark bringing it in. And Clark lost the handle. It's scooped up briefly by Nevela. And Nevela down in the far corner, being hawked by Hunter Hardy.
And this is a key possession here for South Bend. They had the ball on the last possession, never got the shot off after having the ball for quite a while. They want to get a good shot off, but they also want to make sure they get a shot off and just don't lose the possession on a turnover like they did on the last possession.
Middlebrook to Nevela behind the net. Nevela with a burst to Evans. He shoots, but the bouncer is knocked away by Stambaugh, and it'll go to Penn as the Kingsmen had Brooks Clark back there deep. And it's Clark running down the field with it right now. Throws it ahead. The ball knocked loose, though, but still controlled by Penn.
Excellent transition here by the Kingsmen. Clark was the first one near the ball on the possession to get it, got it across, and now they have a good possession here going.
Clark being guarded by Ian Strasser in a battle of 12s behind the net. Clark feeds it out front. Carter Good splits the defenders, gets knocked down, and the ball comes to South Bend.
No flags. Clean play, says the officials.
Caleb Serrano had it for the Bears. He got it ahead to Wyatt Lichty, but the ball knocked loose, and Penn gets it back.
Excellent job by the Kingsmen preventing that ball from crossing midfield. Now a violation here called against South Bend. Penn ball.
It'll be Jack Swanson for the Kingsmen pulling the trigger to Carter Good. Good now to Josh Hickey, who has a pair of goals here tonight. Penn at one time led it 6-2. It's 6-5 right now. It's Hickey on the move. Hickey coming inside. Lobs it across, the beautiful pass, and he set up Zach Woods for the goal.
What an incredibly unselfish play there by Josh Hickey. He had a good look at the goal, but he realizes, hey, if I pass this off, my teammate's got a wide open look at the goal. And that's what he does as you take a look at the replay brought to you by Holiday Properties. And the Kingsmen get a much-needed goal after a little bit of a drought. 3 straight goals from the Bears. Finally, that streak comes to an end on that score for the Kingsmen.
Keep that one as a potential Big C Lumber play of the game because that's as pretty a goal as we've had all night.
As we get a face-off here brought to you by John Adams High School. Again, the face-offs as of late have been going the Bears' way. Another thing that has contributed to their comeback in this game, but this one is going to go Penn's way.
David Gorachi had it briefly, but it's knocked away, and the Bears get it back. A takeaway by Levi Ricks, the freshman. But Ricks lost the handle. Ball still loose at midfield, and now Penn will get it back.
Zach Woods, with a lot of credit, reached over the midfield line with his stick and was able to slap it away and get that possession and the ball back.
Both teams being a little sloppy and taking care of the ball right now. Carter Good has it for the Kingsmen at the 30.
Yeah, control was much better in the first quarter than it has been here, especially late in the second quarter. You wonder if the guys are getting a little winded out there and unable to handle the ball as well as they have been.
Josh Hickey holding the ball in his netting at the 35. And Penn will shuffle Carson Bays onto the field here to get some more offense.
Since 1959, Patrick Industries in Elkhart has empowered outdoor enthusiasts to achieve next-level recreation experience. Patrick, proud supporter of local teams and athletes, empowering excellence on and off the field.
Hickey just collapsed. I think he did something to his knee, and we're going to have an injury timeout on the field. He just crumpled at the 30-yard line, and the ball popped loose. And in a great display of sportsmanship, once South Bend had the ball across midfield, they stopped, and everybody taking a knee here as Josh Hickey is going to have to be helped off the field here.
Well, he is able to get up, which is a good sign, especially when that happens on a turf field in particular. but he is able to walk off on his own power, so that is a positive thing to see for our Tony Letcher Student Athlete of the Week.
Hickey had 5 goals in Penn's win over St. Joe this year. Key member of this team, going to attend the Kelly School of Business at IU, and we hope that he winds up being okay as the trainers take a look at him over on the far side.
He's the youngest of 6 Hickey children. His sister, the head coach of the Penn volleyball team.
But now South Bend in control of the ball with 1:35 to go here in the half and trailing by 2. It's Ben Hewitt who tried to feed it over to Bly Johnson. Johnson tried to control the ball. He was shoved from behind, and it'll be South Bend ball, and Johnson has it. In the middle of the field, shoots low, and it threw it past Stambaugh, but Neville is back there to scoop up the ball out of bounds. Ben Neville being held off by the long stick of Eli Shoemaker. Neville to Middlebrook. Middlebrook with a pair of goals here in the second. Feeds it in front. Shot bounces away by Johnson. The race to the corner is on, and South Bend will control it. 1 minute left here in the first half. South Bend trailing 7-5. Ben Neville with 32 goals on the year, maybe the most skilled player on the field for South Bend. Running around, tried to bounce it through, couldn't get it there. Middlebrook trying to beat it to the sideline and controls it.
3 possibilities here in the final 41 seconds. You get a South Bend goal, you run out the clock, or worst case scenario, you lose possession and give Penn one more shot at scoring. It's going to be option number 3.
It's Carter Minix running up the field, the sophomore. Has it for Penn. Lost control, but Penn is able to keep it. Jack Swanson hung on to it for a moment. Now it'll be Brooks Clark as the Kingsmen hope to fire off the last salvo here in the first half. Clark around Ryan Brown. Clark in front, behind the back, and scores. Oh, my.
You were saying about that Big C Lumber big play of the game nominee. Let's look at the replay here. Brought to you by Holiday Properties. Wow.
The no-look shovel by Brooks Clark, his 3rd goal of the game. And Penn goes up 8-5 with 8.9 seconds left in the half. And there could not have been a more catastrophic end to the half for the Bears.
There can be, because there is still 9 seconds left here in this half. Luckily, they got possession.
Here comes Ian Strasser in a hurry, but he flings that one off the back wall here at School Field. And when Neville gets the ball in the pocket of his stick, that'll pretty much end the first half. Clock starts, half over, 8-5 in favor of the Penn Kingsmen, who put on a big offensive display at the end of the first half, and we get ready to go downstairs for a Patrick sideline report as Bennett Wise is standing by with the head coach of the Penn Kingsmen, Peter Gillen. Go ahead, Bennett.
Coach, not the start to the second quarter that you wanted. Ultimately, what did you like about those final 5 minutes to get you a 3-goal lead again?
Well, they held it together. Being man down a lot of the first half made it hard. We were playing behind the ball a little bit, but they kept their composure. They stuck it out, and they finished it strong. So
I know one of your keys to the game was earning the ground balls, winning the face-offs. What adjustments do you need to make to get at the advantage in that?
I think we're winning the face-off or winning the clamp for the most part, but we're not coming up with the ground ball. So either we need to get our wings into the play and get them on the ground ball, or our face-off guys need to come up with the ground ball. It's just sort of it's a technique thing. They gotta iron it out.
All right, Coach, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, Bennett. Thank you very much. Stick around, everybody. A lot to talk about on our St. Joseph County Police Department halftime report. A couple of big goals by Penn late in that half. Put the Kingsmen up 8-5 as we go to the intermission on Sports Michiana.
In need of an award? Call Crown Trophy of Mishawaka, the area's premier award provider. They've been serving the area since 2001 with cutting-edge exclusive products, personalized with state-of-the-art laser engraving technology. And Crown Trophy has more than just trophies. They offer corporate, sales, and retirement awards, along with personalized gifts and promotional products. Crown Trophy, nationally known, locally owned, where everyone's a winner.
Are you tired of auto service from big box stores and new car dealers? 45 years ago, my parents, Bud and Diane, founded Zolman's with a strong commitment to the community. Today, Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care is still family owned and operated with over 150 employees and families. And we offer a price match guarantee on any tires from any local dealer, while providing complete auto service on all makes and all models, serving you and your family for 3 generations. Buy local, shop local. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to us by our friends at Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, putting people over profits. Halftime here at Historic School Field with the Penn Kingsmen leading the South Bend Bears by a count of 8-5, and we welcome you inside the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Angelo DiCarlo high above the fray. We bring in WSBT 22's Bennett Wise and Bennett. Let's start with Penn. What an impressive end to the first half. And Brooks Clark, for my money, looks like the most talented guy down on the field.
Very much so. What's really noticeable, and it's kind of harder than the high school lacrosse game, is the ability to switch to both left and right hand. We've seen that with Brooks Clark, and then, of course, going behind the back with no-look shot like that is extremely difficult. To be able to execute it, fit it in that tight window between the goalie and the pipe, it's very, very impressive.
Bennett, clearly the man-up advantage was a big reason South Bend got back into this, but they were also winning faceoffs in the second quarter. How much momentum were they able to gain in that regard to have some positive news in that locker room to give them a chance to win this game?
Absolutely. You could even hear Coach Hoy just bringing the positivity, bringing the confidence, and you could feel it. The entire Bear side of the sideline was very, very animated. They were loving the fact that they were playing physical. They were getting the ground ball, and it wasn't like, they were trying to take a couple of scoops at it and then pick it up. It was the first chance on the ground ball that was really making the difference.
We have not been wanting for entertainment in the first half of this one. We've got a lot of highlights to look at when our St. Joseph County Police Department halftime report continues after this. 8-5 Penn. You're watching our spring showcase on Sports Michiana.
I joined Notre Dame Federal Credit Union a long time ago.
1978.
I've been a member over 15 years.
I've worked with Notre Dame my whole banking life.
44 years.
I have my checking account there. I have my savings account there.
Really value the
community-based banking system.
My credit card with Notre Dame. I have my car insurance with Notre Dame.
I can't say enough good things, really.
I have my auto loans with Notre Dame.
My whole life is at Notre Dame
I
Credit
will
Union.
remain with them until the day I die.
It's one unique, one special vibe.
Your car carries precious cargo. It needs to be dependable, rain or shine. Let Tom's Car Care Center in South Bend help take the stress out of your car's maintenance. We'll change your oil in 10 minutes, flush your transmission, replace your wiper blades, and much more. Oil changes include a half-price car wash when needed. Welcome to your extended family, Tom's Car Care Center.
Why is Babsco the premier electrical distributor? Because they have breakers, boxes, switches, resets, clamps, tapes, relays, covers, timers, batteries, wires, labels, ballast, T-string, fixtures, plugs, tubing, lamps, load centers, and conduit. You can do it with Babsco Supply. With 2 locations in Elkhart and Warsaw. Visit Babsco.com. Babsco Supply, where they have everything.
Hey, this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to us by Glass Doctor, Mr. Handyman of 5-Star Painting. They're your neighborly hometown heroes. 8-5 is our score here at the intermission. Chuck Freeby and Angelo DiCarlo inside the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. What are your thoughts on that first half?
Well, it looked like it was going to be a blowout early, to say the least, and then really South Bend was able to take advantage of situations. They got the man up a couple of different times, and they scored on all those opportunities, and now it's a game, and they're believing, as Bennett said. Once you have belief and you have confidence, you have a chance to win the game, and that's where we're at.
Well, let's show you how it got to be this way here at Historic School Field in South Bend. Carter Good with the goal right here helped Penn get out to a 3-0 lead. Finally, South Bend would get on the board about midway through the first quarter as Sam Clark pulls the trigger on his 43rd goal of the season. That made it a 3-1 contest. Back comes Brooke Clark for Penn to put the Kingsmen up 4-1, but Bly Johnson will be lingering near the net. And look at the sidewinder right there. It was 5-2 Penn after one. Here comes South Bend in the second quarter. Sam Evans made it a one-goal game. You could feel the emotion rising, but then look at this pretty feed. Josh Hickey finds Zach Woods on the doorstep. A little tic-tac-toe action right there. 7-5, and then just before the end of the half, watch this Brooks Clark gem, the no-look shot past Ted Klingenpeel to make it 8-5 Kingsmen, and that's where we stand at the intermission. Should be an exciting second half. We look forward to bringing it to you right here on Sports Michiana.
Why do our auto insurance rates keep going up? Oh.
Dramatic increases in parts, labor, and medical care are causing auto insurance rates to soar nationwide. Lilliard's Insurance can protect you from auto rate increases with our available rate lock feature. And because Lilliard's Insurance is a local business, you get better service and deal with actual people. Hi, I'm Matt Lilliard. Call or text us today to see if you qualify.
Shopping for tires used to be like pulling teeth. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack's Tire Decision Guide made it easy to drill down to the right tires for me.
What?
Oh, I got a great deal. My tires shipped fast and free and arrived the next day. I even got 2 years of free road hazard protection.
Where?
You're darn right, wow. Next time your tires get long in the tooth, visit TireRack.com.
TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to us in part by Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless. One of the possibilities, a sideline report, a Patrick sideline report with WSBT 22's Bennett Wise. You talked to Kane Hoy at the break. What did the South Bend Bears coach have to say?
Well, he said the extra man opportunities in the early part of the second quarter was, quote, music to his ears. He loved the way that they were able to capitalize, get back into this ball game a little bit more. The second part was he wants to change up the way they move in transition. Penn's doing what's known as a zone ride, meaning it's kind of like a zone defense in transition where they're creating a little bit more space, so they have to change the way they bring the ball into the offense as opposed to just trying to beeline it straight towards the goal. And then he also wants the Bears to play with more playing for the body as opposed to the stick of the Penn player. Wants them to be a little bit more physical and stop trying to go for the ball and the stick, go for the guy instead.
All right, thank you to WSBT 22's Bennett Wise.
And our halftime report brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Respect, loyalty, pride, courage, integrity, and dedication. Those are the many ways officers at the St. Joseph County Police are serving our communities. If you're looking for a career change that can really make a difference, visit sjcpd.org to learn more. And that face-off brought to you by John Adams High School. This third quarter brought to you by Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic.
It's Brooks Clark out front. And the ball knocked down by defense there for the Bears, but Penn gets the possession back. They'll feed it to Josh Hickey. Good to see him back out on the field. And Carson Bays fires one right over the head of the keeper and into the net. For Bays, his second goal of the game. And it gives Penn a 9-5 lead.
Take a look at the replay brought to you by Holiday Properties on the goal scorer there for the Kingsmen, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, the financial institution of choice for Sports Michiana, plus hundreds of churches and schools. Link your Elevate credit or debit card and your nonprofit earns 1% cash back. Go to NotreDameFCU.com/elevate to learn more as we get ready for another face-off brought to you by John Adams High School.
I have never seen a sponsor come up and just stand over your shoulder to make sure you get the reads in, but there's Adams principal Jim Seitz making sure that you get the job done there. Here's Carson Bays with the ball for Penn.
You notice the extra emphasis I put into that John Adams High School?
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah.
You felt the pressure. Zach Woods feeds the man by the net. That's Jack Swanson. Swanson back outside to Woods. This game got as close as 6-5 in the second period, but Penn has now scored 3 straight goals and started to take command of those faceoffs once again.
That final 30 seconds of the first half, a backbreaker for the Bears where they lost possession, and Penn came the other end and scored a goal.
Swanson trying to feed Good, but the ball rolls away, still loose within the field, and Good is able to keep it alive, but South Bend knocks it out to midfield. Can the Bears come up with a ground ball right here?
Like a little rugby scrum here.
Well, it's like
Breaking
watching
out.
4-year-olds play soccer. Here we go with
I'll have that Saturday.
Brooks Clark bringing the ball up the field.
Will not be broadcasting that one, of course, only in my mind.
In your mind, you will. Believe me. Zach Woods back outside to Clark. Clark with 3 goals on the night. Penn trying to get to that double-figure mark. They've been very good with double figures this year as well. Here's Carson Bays back in the corner. Bays being guarded by Hunter Ricks. Bays gets it up in front to Swanson, but Klingenpeel is there to make the save.
Klingenpeel has made some very good saves here tonight. There's been 9 goals scored on him, but he has been a tough cookie back in that back of the net.
Well, he's had to be a tough cookie in life. He lost his mom because of breast cancer back in September. And he says the Bears have been a great family for him to be around, and Lacrosse has given him a wonderful distraction this year.
And that's what sports is supposed to be about. It's not just about scoring goals and winning games. It's about life lessons and having an outlet to really show yourself and put your mind in get a proper distraction is what I'm trying to say there. And that's what he's had, which is awesome to see in this team providing him that.
Max Middlebrook's pass goes awry, and so Penn will get the ball back.
Thank you to the Lilliard Insurance Agency for all their work in helping Sports Michiana get all its insurance needs. Real people, real service, real value. That's the slogan, but Matt Lilliard and his team live it every day. Visit realvalueins.com to get the personal touch you deserve.
Penn threw it away. Now Ethan Olson gets it forward, but his pass is a little bit high, and the Kingsmen scoop it up with Dylan Domalewski. Nice spin move. Penn trying to work it forward. Here's Bays trying to get around the attack of Caleb Serrano.
They're liking those spin moves on this possession. That's 2.
Here's Hickey. Misses wide. Klingenpeel trying to win the race to the ball and does.
How about that? Going the extra steps, the goaltender. Locally owned Central Automotive, downtown South Bend, your answer for oil changes, brakes, air conditioning repair, general maintenance, and more. Check them out at Lafayette and Colfax. Central Automotive, we're here for all your automotive needs.
Klingenpeel over to Ryan Brown. Brown, the big defenseman who had 3 ground balls against both Chesterton and Argus this year. Lobs it forward to Max Middlebrook. Middlebrook trying to get a step on Jensen Lane. Shows a spin move of his own as he gives it off to Owen McNally. McNally being hounded on the outside by Josh Hickey. And Hickey trying to bull rush McNally. McNally stick handling, keeping the ball in the net.
Well, we talked about the size of Penn from the get-go and trying to bully their opponents. They've definitely been able to do that at times here tonight, and on this possession in particular, Hickey showing his size.
Neville, a stop by Ben Stambaugh there, and the rebound comes right to the stick of Josh Hickey. Stambaugh with about his 6th save tonight.
Stambaugh's been excellent. I mean, we talk about the prolific offense that the Bears have and their attackmen being so strong, and the fact that Stambaugh has been able to make so many saves has been critical.
Timeout called by Penn. 7:04 to go in the third. Kingsmen lead at 9-5 on Sports Michiana.
Founded in 2001 by brothers Sam and Levi, Reliance has built a reputation for excellence, providing high-quality home building and renovation services to the Michiana area. From single-room renovations like kitchens and bathrooms to building your dream home from the ground up, everything benefits from their decades of experience. From concept to completion, Reliance makes even the largest projects simple and hassle-free. To find out more, visit RelianceDBR.net. Reliance. Design, build, renovate.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless.
Sports Michiana's apparel, courtesy of our friends at It Stops in Mishawaka. Clothes, office supplies, tumblers. If you want to put your logo on something, odds are It Stops can make it happen. Locally run since 1976, It Stops gives you the personalized attention you deserve. Learn more at itstops.net. A reminder, our third quarter brought to you by Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic.
Only one goal so far in the third quarter. It came from Carson Bays just 27 seconds after the start of the stanza, and it has Penn leading 9-5 with 7:04 left to go here in the third.
Our instant replay sponsor tonight, Holiday Properties, leading full-service real estate firm specializing in development, land acquisition, design, build, and property management. With a commitment to quality and service, we manage, develop, and invest in properties that enhance communities. Learn more at holidayproperties.com.
Klingenpeel stops the shot of Jack Swanson after Carter Good went end-to-end with the ball. Now it's Zach Woods behind the net for the Kingsmen. Woods in front, Carson Bays buries it. But that was all set up by the pass from Woods. And for Bays, his third of the night.
Take a look at the replay brought to you by Holiday Properties. Bays making it happen, and now the hat trick for him. John Adams High School is home to a diverse student body with opportunities to participate in international baccalaureate, AP courses, dual credit courses, and CTE courses. The class of 2024 achieved a 92.4% graduation rate and earned more than $11 million in scholarships. And this face-off brought to you by John Adams High School.
Ian Strasser for South Bend, outdueled by David Guarachi, at least at the start. And a nice scoop there by Carter Good to take the ball back for Penn. Good with a great flip to Jensen Lane. Lane, the senior, headed to Purdue to study atmospheric science. Lost control of the ball. It pops loose. And a violation called against South Bend will give the ball to Penn.
Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic, our third quarter sponsor, and Granger, family-focused practice that treats newborns to professional athletes and everyone in between. They offer high-level chiropractic care, digital x-ray diagnostics, and non-surgical spinal decompression. Google Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic to learn more.
Kingsman moved the ball around behind the net. Again, it's Swanson. Now to Zach Woods, winds and fires and scores. He had Klingenpeel doing the splits, trying to stop that one, but they couldn't do it.
Well, now the start of the second half has been much like the start of the first half, dominating by the Kingsmen, and you wonder if South Bend has enough in them to get back in this. But at this point, it's 5 straight goals now for Penn, dating back to the end of the second quarter.
Woods, a member of the basketball team at Penn, scores his 22nd goal of the lacrosse season. He had a big 4-goal game in their win over St. Joe earlier this year. And another face-off won by the Kingsmen.
Yeah, and a reminder, it wasn't just the man-up advantage that was allowing South Bend to get in. It was winning the face-offs. They don't win the face-off here, but they're able to force the turnover and get the ball. Again, you have to have the ball to be able to score, and now they have an opportunity here with this offense led by Ben Nevela.
Right now it's Max Middlebrook with the ball by the 35-yard line. Credit Caleb Serrano with forcing the turnover. They got the ball back for South Bend. Middlebrook, nice little spin move and a left-hand shot. Stambaugh never saw it, staring into the sun.
That was a great shot because I think he recognized the fact that he knows Stambaugh is going to have some difficulties in the sun. As you look at the replay brought to you by Holiday Properties, and he just makes it almost nonchalant, not making Stambaugh not real think he's going to shoot it, and that throws him off and able to score the goal, almost like an off-speed shot. And that stops the bleeding a little bit here after 5 straight goals for Penn. It's been a game of runs. You know, it was 4 straight goals at one point for South Bend and now 5 straight for Penn as another faceoff brought to you by John Adams High School.
Yeah, South Bend really needs to take advantage of the position of the sun right now.
Yep.
Get the ball as much as possible and fire shots on goal. And they do get the ball right here with Hunter Ricks. Ricks taking it down by the goal. Ricks with the lawn stick flips it back to Ben Nevela. Boy, they have hounded Nevela tonight behind the net and really limited his effectiveness.
They're going to wait here a second or two as Ricks gets back so they can get another man up into the field.
Isaiah Garvey comes on for the Bears as Sam Evans handles it. Evans being guarded by David Gorachi.
Now they don't have any of those long sticks on the attack.
Evans, bouncer, goes past the net, but Garvey is closest to the ball, and South Bend retains possession.
Thank you to Tony Letcher for his incredible support of Sports Michiana. Tony, a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets. If you're looking for assistance with Medicare, family, or individual health insurance, Google Tony Letcher Health Markets or visit tletcher.com.
Bly Johnson has been fairly quiet tonight for South Bend. Can he score here? He does. Here come the Bears with Stambaugh staring into the sun. And 4:03 to go in the quarter. It's an 11-7 game.
Say his name, and he appears. Bly Johnson on the Holiday Properties instant replay with the goal.
But again, can South Bend build on the momentum here? They're getting back into it. They trailed 11-5 just a minute and 40 seconds ago. And now it's 11-7.
Plenty of time. 16 minutes of actual game time. You're down by 4 goals, but again, it's make it, take it. You win the faceoff here, and you can narrow this down a little bit. They had the scoop, but unable to control it. Still loose.
And Penn. Yep, Penn has it with Zach Woods. Here's Carson Bays on the left side. Bays being guarded by Teddy Swanson. Bays behind the net, puts on a burst of speed, turns, shoots, scores. The junior is just unstoppable here in the third. That's his 3rd goal of the period. And you'll get another look from Holiday Properties.
He just makes it look so easy, the way he is able to control that ball as he moves the stick back and forth to avoid the contact with the Bears, then gets the shot and the goal. Primary Care Partners of South Bend offers high-quality medical care to all ages. They're committed to understanding your medical needs. Located near Howard Park in South Bend, they offer early morning and Saturday hours. Thank you, Primary Care Partners of South Bend.
Colin Hickey wins the faceoff, scoops it up himself, then falls down, and the ball taken away by South Bend. It's on the stick of Hunter Ricks. Ricks going down the far sideline with that long stick. Needs to find somebody to get it to. He's shoved from behind, and the push called against Penn will give the ball to South Bend. It also gives Ricks a chance to get off the field with the long stick. They go to Owen McNally, who bounces it wide, but South Bend appears to be closest to the ball going out of bounds, and so Neville and the Bears will retain possession. Neville with a burst of speed. Tosses it outside. Garvey mishandled it, but gets it back. Isaiah Garvey drops it off for Sam Evans. Evans winds, fires, scores.
And look at that. Just like that, they're back within 4. This Bears team will not go away. As you take a look at the replay brought to you by Holiday Properties, another opportunity goes low this time for the goal. Look, there's 2:52 left in the period. You just if you can get to back within 3 heading to the 4th, you give yourself a chance. You'd love to get within 2. You don't want to give up any more. You don't want to go back behind by 4. But if you can at least get back to within 3 after the way this quarter started, you'll have a lot of momentum getting into the 4th.
But that's a lot to ask for here in the last 2:44 against a Penn offense that's been explosive tonight. One of the reasons is the guy with the ball right now, Brooks Clark.
Well, it is a lot to ask for when you don't win the faceoff, especially. Because you know Penn will bleed this clock, and wait for a good opportunity. They do not waste their opportunities on offense.
Well, this is a good opportunity because it's Carter Good with the ball. Goes now behind the net. Here's Josh Hickey. Hickey out to Brooks Clark. Clark fires, scores. No, it hit the post. Instead, he bounces it in and scores.
Well, you know what? You're going to give a lot of credit there for staying with it because there was a lot of people, as you take a look at this replay, brought to you by Holiday Properties, that stopped. The South Bend Bears, unfortunately, they thought it was a goal. Pretty much everybody stopped, and that gave the opportunity there for Brooks Clark to see the opportunity, get the ball, and score. If they don't stop, maybe it's not a goal there.
Once they thought it was a goal, it became a self-fulfilling prophecy because it became a goal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's an unfortunate situation that you actually made the save, but you thought it went in.
The ball kicked right into the stick of Ben Nevela, who was waiting back at the 30. So here's South Bend with an opportunity. The Bears with Nevela on the run here, running right at Aiden Deal, then flips it down low, but it went a little too high off the stick of Sam Evans. He lost control of it right on the doorstep. A push, though, called against Penn, and South Bend will get the ball back.
Kingsman lucky not a penalty flag was thrown there with the contact from behind, but for the Bears, they're just happy to at least have possession.
Bly Johnson looking to get a screen from Owen McNally. McNally, terrible acting.
So you saw that too?
Cal Warzon grazed him, and he went down as though he were playing World Cup soccer.
Yeah, for the Italian national team. No, they would have called the penalty if he was on the Italian national team.
Johnson fading away, lost his balance
there. Is he all right?
No,
he's
down with a knee injury on the turf.
That is why the awkward pass was made, and this is unfortunate, and hopefully he is okay.
Can't tell if it's a knee or a cramp.
Hopefully it's just a cramp. He is standing up now.
Yeah. It was not a terribly warm day, but it's warm enough, and if you didn't hydrate properly.
Yeah, it's one of those days that you're right. It can catch up to you because you might think it's not. Yeah, that is showing signs of being a cramp, which hopefully that is the case. That's not going to benefit them at this moment, but certainly it won't be a long-term injury, which is a positive. Monterey Mexican Grill cheers on the Kingsmen. Did you know Monterey has an upstairs event space that holds up to 120 people that can be a perfect spot for a high school graduation party or special event? They cater to options for any budget. Monterey Mexican Grill on McKinley in Mishawaka.
Reminder, next Wednesday night, it's high school baseball on Sports Michiana as the crew goes down to see Northern Lakes Conference action. Warsaw, amidst a logjam on the top of the Northern Lakes Conference, will take on Northwood. We're on the air with the pregame show at 5:30, the first pitch at 5:45 from down in Lake City. Hope you'll join us then. Catch Sports Michiana action on Facebook, YouTube, and the IHSAA Champions Network.
You never know what's going to happen in an NLC baseball game this year. Northwood does not have a winning conference record, but they went to extra innings with Warsaw the first time, and then Warsaw ends up scoring 7 runs in the 8th inning and wins by 6 runs overall.
Warsaw has had tremendous pitching this week. They threw a combined no-hitter on Monday and then a one-hitter last night against Wawasee. But all that's been able to do is just maintain the tie that they have atop the league with teams like Northridge.
Well, and with that said,
Mishawaka.
Northwood's pitching's been excellent too. I mean, what did they lose 1-0 to Concord last night? They've been great on the pitching. Their depth is not as strong, it appears, as Warsaw, but it'll be interesting to see that game play out next week. It'll be a good one.
Dylan Domalewski gets it over to the near side, and Brooks Clark. Penn working on a 13-8 lead here late in the third quarter. Under a minute to go, as you see on the TireRack.com scoreboard. Clark over on the far side, Domalewski. Now back to Clark. Clark lobs it down low. Bays another shot. This one goes wide, but Penn closest to the ball with 12.5 seconds left in the quarter. Kingsmen pull the trigger to Zach Woods. Woods to Clark. Online, he shoots, and it's wide. No, Klingenpeel made the save right there in his net, and that's the way the third quarter will end. So the third quarter dominated by the Penn Kingsmen. They had 3 goals from that man, Carson Bays, and another one from Brooks Clark, and they lead the South Bend Bears 13-8 as we go to the fourth on Sports Michiana.
In 1969, America celebrated men landing on the moon. Now the USA is trying to return, and Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is helping pave the way. IFT is providing paint, chemical conversion coatings, and non-destructive testing services for NASA's Space Launch System and Orion spacecraft, which will deliver astronauts to the moon and possibly Mars. Help make it happen by joining the Imagineering Finishing Technologies team at iftww.com/careers.
Yeah. And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week is being sponsored by Patrick, empowering outdoor enthusiasts since 1959. And we go down to Patrick's sideline report that will often leave people like WSBT 22's Bennett Wise feeling breathless. Your thoughts on this 1 through 3?
If he has a breath.
Hey, I'm all good. I would go to the gym a lot. That was nothing. Quick little 40-yard dash. What's working well, though, right now is Penn's offense. What they do best, and what you saw in a couple of their goals there, was they really worked it out in space, worked from behind the cage a little bit as well, move the ball in front, and get open shots and space out the Bears' defense.
Dude, he just ran full flat across the field, I like to point out, for that Patrick sideline report. And you heard it a little bit, but not much.
Actually, it would be better to call that a Patrick sideline to sideline report.
Yeah, there you go. Our fourth quarter brought to you by R. Yoder Construction.
And the Penn Kingsmen win the face-off to start the quarter. It's Carter Good handling the ball over on the far side, putting on the brakes and getting it over to Jensen Lane. Kingsmen working the ball around. Don't forget we've switched ends here at the quarter break, which means Teddy Klingenpeel has to deal with what's left of the sun. And we'll see if the Kingsmen can try to use that to their advantage, much as the Bears did in the third. Ball knocked down on defense by Ryan Brown, but recovered by Brooks Clark. Here's Woods with a shot. It missed high, went to the corner. Penn was closest to it.
The oddest part about this game is that the team shooting into the sun has scored the least amount of goals here tonight. It goes against all conventional wisdom, but that's the way it's actually gone here so far. South Bend's most goals were shooting not in the sun in that second quarter.
Klingenpeel with a stick save and a beauty right there. And the ball goes not just out of bounds, but into the stands where
it might have got a little bit. It might have got the crossbar also. I think that's what may have caused that ball to take off the way it did.
Bays with the ball outside for Penn. On the move. And Bays runs around behind the net. Here's Woods with a shot. That misses wide, but again, the closest man to it was Brady Bauer.
Your home deserves the best, and your neighborly hometown heroes are here to deliver. Glass Doctor secures your home with expert glass care. Mr. Handyman takes on small fixes to big improvements. 5-star painting revitalizes your space inside and out. Trust the pros who bring you peace of mind above all else.
So South Bend gets the ball back on the violation. And the Bears get it down to Ben Nevela. Nevela looking for some help. Trying to put a move here on Eli Shoemaker. And the ball dropped by Nevela. And knocked away. And finally, Nevela will scoop it up. But again, South Bend losing some valuable time here. Nearly lost the ball, and Nevela stepped out of bounds with the ball.
That's a turnover that is a heartbreaker because you did all the work to get it, and well, they got it back right away anyway.
Hayden deal with a bad pass, and it's recovered by Teddy Swanson of South Bend. Swanson puts on the brakes, and a timeout called by the Bears. 9:34 to go in this one. Penn leads at 13-8 on Sports Michiana.
Just graduated high school and now wondering what's next? Ready to start making a difference? Now is your chance. The St. Joe County Police Department Correctional Officer's starting pay is $50,000. Working in the jail can teach you life skills that you can use as a correctional or police officer. Benefits include vacation, medical, dental, and vision. For more information, call Sergeant Kylie Williams at 574-245-6263 or apply at sjcpd.org.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Ferret Custom Roll Forming. We form value. Some of the crowd here at School Field tonight catching some high school lacrosse. Not a bad crowd on hand for a sport that does not get a whole lot of attention here in northern Indiana.
Well, it remains a club sport. It's not a varsity sport, so that reduces its visibility within a school system as much as the school supports certainly their teams, but it is a little different than a true varsity sport. So in that regard, and again, as we talked about from the beginning, it is still an emerging sport. It's kind of hard to imagine with how well Notre Dame has become as a two-time national champion that the sport hasn't grown even more, but it's tough when most people in the Midwest, Chuck, when did people start even realizing what lacrosse was around here?
I had never seen it until I went to college at Notre Dame, and Rich O'Leary was the first lacrosse coach at Notre Dame. But Kevin Corrigan has taken that program to areas that Rich O'Leary never ever dreamed of, including two-time national champions. And both these coaches said, obviously, Kevin Corrigan and Notre Dame's success has helped them build their programs because these kids see it. They go to the games at Arlotta Stadium, and the next thing you know, they're trying to duplicate the moves that they see the Kavanaugh brothers or some of the others do.
Fourth quarter brought to you by Arioto Construction, proud contractor, the new Penn Fieldhouse, celebrating the spirit of competition on the field tonight. For your next winning project, trust Arioto Construction, building with purpose, serving with character. I don't know if you've been over in that area. That Fieldhouse is going up fast. It is a monster, too. They've done a nice job over there.
Brooks Clark on the move here, or excuse me, not Brooks Clark, Ian Strasser here for the South Bend Bears. Gets it outside. Bears quickly moving it around. Here's Sam Evans looking to try to thread the needle. Fires, and Ben Stambaugh is there for another save. South Bend wins the race to the ball and will retain possession with 8:07 to go. A 13-8 Penn lead. If it's tied at the end of regulation, we will have overtime, but the Bears have some work to do.
That would be plenty of work. And really what it would come down was, obviously you got to score, but then you're going to have to pretty much win every face-off from here on out to have a decent shot of coming all the way back.
Owen McNally circling behind the net.
But to put in perspective, they scored, 3 goals in a minute or so and change in that second quarter. So it is possible.
McNally lost control, and then Penn gets it on the violation. Cal Warzone with some really good defense there by the big sophomore for Penn.
That turnover won't help the cause. Sports Michiana was created thanks to a great chat with our friends at Notre Dame Federal Credit Union while eating some awesome pizza at Rocco's. Let Rocco's hit the spot and inspire your next great idea. Rocco's Pizza, a South Bend tradition since 1951. Chuck wasn't joking earlier when the guys devoured it. I got in there and I'm like, whoa, is there anything left for me?
It's always about you, isn't it?
Well, I was hungry.
You also picked up the pizza. Neville tried to flip one over, and Stambaugh with yet another save.
I had to smell it the entire drive over, so I wanted to eat some of it.
I don't blame you. Gary Martin, our producer, was lucky that
they saved the nice job by the crew saving the sausage for Gary.
It required a couple of announcements. Here's a ball up in front, and the save by Klingenpeel.
That was a great save by Klingenpeel.
Brady Bauer was all alone on the doorstep, but Klingenpeel was able to get down low and thwart him. But South Bend needs a little urgency here, trailing 13-8. Finally, it comes to Max Middlebrook, but he dropped it, and Brooks Clark is more than happy to scoop it up for Penn. Here's Bauer again. Thought about pulling the trigger. Instead, decided to kill some time with 6:06 to go.
Ferret Custom Roll Forming, the best choice in metal fabrication, serving a variety of industries, including solar appliances, conveyor systems, chassis, structural components to decorative trim. Learn more at ferretrollforming.com. We form value.
Klingenpeel with another save there for South Bend, and a whistle and a timeout called. 5:49 to go in this one. 13-8 Penn on Sports Michiana.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Ledger, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Ledger today to schedule your free consultation or visit tledger.com.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic, a family-focused practice in Granger, Indiana.
For more than 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping people find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. They're nationally known, locally run by an outstanding team that believes in supporting the Michiana community. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Both of these teams looking to wrap up the regular season this weekend. Penn will need some help if they're going to get into the Indiana High School State Tournament. It's a little bit easier for the Bears to get into the Club State Tournament. And the Bears finished as runner-up in that tournament just a couple of years ago. They've faced an awesome challenge tonight against the big school in the north, the Penn Kingsmen. Penn leading 13-8, and the pressure on South Bend to try to score here with 5:36 left, and the turnover goes to the Kingsmen. Scooped up by Sam Hubert that time. Hubert and some of his lacrosse teammates, notably David Guarachi and John Isaacson, won the Penn Talent Show this year with the performance of Viva La Vida.
Hey, look at that. That's impressive.
Not sure who played what instruments. Looks like we've got another timeout on the field, so we'll take one more. 5:13 to go. It's 13-8 in favor of Penn on Sports Michiana.
Shopping for tires used to really grind my gears. So many tires, and the thought of choosing the right one made me, precisely. That's before I went to TireRack.com. I got the best deal hands down. My tires ship fast and free, arrive the next day like clockwork. Tire Rack even gave me 2 years of free road hazard protection. Precisely.
TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known, but locally owned.
Penn Boosters always cheer for the Kingsmen. Last year, the Boosters awarded over $110,000 to various academic clubs and teams. Support the Penn Boosters by following them on Facebook or go to pennboosters.org.
What a beautiful night for lacrosse here at School Field in South Bend. This structure built during the WPA, the Works Power Administration, back in the 30s, and looks great. They put in the field turf I'd say about almost a decade ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
It's a great facility. It's hosted many things. The first IHSAA state finals football game. It's hosted soccer state championships. And tonight, high school lacrosse. Penn in control of this one, up 13-8. Carson Bay's thwarted that time by Ted Klingenpeel. Klingenpeel with about 10 saves here tonight. Bay shoots again, and Klingenpeel denies him again. And the race is on to the ball on the sidelines. Penn was closest, thanks to the hustle of Carter Good. Good has played a fine game tonight. He's done a lot of the little things, and that's one of the things that both coaches talked to their teams about this week at practice. Josh Hickey spinning, looking to pull the trigger, but that one's way wide, and this time the ball will go to Penn as Carson Bays was standing back by the out-of-bounds line. Almost 4 minutes to go in regulation here. Penn trying to mix being an attacking team here with also holding the ball and draining some clock. Good. Great move there. Spins away and gets it onto the stick of a teammate. Bays finds the cutter, and Klingenpeel is able to stop the shot of Josh Hickey. That's 3 saves in that sequence for Klingenpeel.
That's an impressive performance. As check, neither team has scored here in the fourth quarter, have they? I think it was 13-8 coming into this quarter.
It was indeed. South Bend trying to change that here. Sam Evans running around.
No one scoring in the fourth is fine for Penn. Doesn't work real well to the advantage of South Bend.
Now Max Middlebrook, who had a couple of goals during that outburst in the second period when the Bears got to within 1. Middlebrook trying to get that right-handed shot, finally does, but Ben Stambaugh saw that one all the way. Stambaugh with another save, ball loose around the 44-yard line. The scrum is on. And finally, it's good, scooping it up for Penn. Isaiah Garvey hounding him, but good on the run. Now past Middlebrook. Stops, spins, shoots. Klingenpeel denies him. Ted Klingenpeel, who is a state fair champion not just in pygmy goat showmanship, but computer projects as well. Boy, there's a vast array. And he has faced a vast array of shots here tonight, but he's come up with almost as many saves as goals allowed. As the ball knocked away there by Caleb Serrano will go out of bounds to Penn with 2:15 to go. Stambaugh now comes out from the net and fires it ahead to Josh Hickey. Hickey cruises across midfield to Brooks Clark. Clark checked from behind. He'll find Hickey. They work it around. Nice ball movement, but Klingenpeel stops the shot in front by Bo Yetterberg.
I mean, he has had one sensational sequence here over the last couple minutes to keep this a 5-goal game for South Bend.
Now he's got to get some help from his offense. Here's McNally on the run. Shoots, it's wide. Past Stambaugh, and Deal is the closest to it for the Kingsmen.
I mean, it has been a roller coaster of a season for Klingenpeel as a sophomore goalie, kind of just volunteering to take the role over for Saul Zabukovic, who graduated a season ago and was a multi-year starter for the Bears. And, you know, what he has shown in this game against a lot of pressure from Penn, I think he's going to be a pretty darn good goalie in the next couple of years.
Well, Kane Hoy said this is really the first time in the last 7 years that South Bend has had an inexperienced goalie in there. And for them to have a .500 season after tonight is still pretty impressive.
Yeah, and it's not just inexperience that, he has not played for the Bears at this level before. It's he didn't play goalie at all at any level until he volunteered for this opportunity. So he has done a great job stepping up for this Bears program, and I think he's got potential to be a good goalie here as a junior and senior in the coming years.
Ryan Brown stumbling forward and getting it to Max Middlebrook with under a minute left. Nevela behind the net, turns, scores! Ben Nevela gets on the board for the 33rd time this season. He does it with 38 seconds left in the game to cut the deficit to 13-9.
And you see the replay brought to you by Holiday Properties. And one thing you can say about the South Bend Bears, this team, these kids do not give up at any point. Down by a lot in the first quarter, they don't give up. Give up a lot of goals early in the third quarter, don't give up. Down by 5 in the last 5 minutes, onslaught on net, they don't give up. Very impressive to see. One final reminder to you, our great friends at Imagineering Finishing Technologies, right here in South Bend, longtime supporter of high school athletics, also helping NASA send astronauts back to the moon. Want to help learn more on joining the Imagineering Finishing Technologies team at iftww.com/careers. And the Bears probably wish this was like soccer and there was some stoppage time, because they're now within 3 with 27 seconds left.
Sam Evans with the goal right there. For Evans, that's his 4th of the night. Carson Bays has 4 for Penn. He'll likely be our Reliance player of the game and get a chance to talk with Bennett Wise from WSBT 22 after this one's over. Penn will now try to bleed out the clock for the final 13 seconds. And a timeout is called by, no, it's a violation on Penn. And South Bend gets the ball back with 13 seconds left. Bears will try to make one last surge here, but they throw it away. Wyatt Lichty knocked down by Aiden Deal. Evans will come up. And the clock expires, and this one belongs to the Penn Kingsmen. Peter Gillen's team goes to 8-5 on the season, while South Bend falls to 8-8. Good lacrosse game here at School Field tonight. Very competitive action, but this one goes to Penn by the final score of 13-10. And the two teams will line up for the handshake line, and then we'll get a chance to begin our St. Joseph County Police Department postgame show. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout and be back with our postgame show after this on Sports Michiana.
Your garage door keeps your home, family, and valuables safe and secure. Make sure it always looks good and works well. Precision Garage Door is your one-stop shop for design, installation, and repairs. Count on us to help you choose the right materials, style, and color for your new door. And when you need repairs...
Just graduated high school and now wondering what's next? Ready to start making a difference? Now is your chance. The St. Joe County Police Department Correctional Officer's starting pay is $50,000. Working in the jail can teach you life skills that you can use as a correctional or police officer. Benefits include vacation, medical, dental, and vision. For more information, call Sergeant Kylie Williams at 574-245-6263 or apply at sjcpd.org.
And our postgame show tonight on Sports Michiana being brought to you in part by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. A 13-10 final here tonight at School Field as the Penn Kingsmen top the South Bend Bears. We're ready to begin our postgame coverage with our Reliance player of the game as we bring you inside the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby, Angelo Carlo. The third member of our crew is WSBT 22's Bennett Wise. He's standing by with our player of the game, Carson Bays.
Carson, after a slow start to that second quarter, what was really the flip in the second half that got it going for you guys?
I think ground balls and just wanting to possess the ball more, and I feel like we cleaned up some clears. And yeah.
You got going yourself there in the third quarter as well. What were you seeing to ultimately find the back of the net?
I just saw that I had opportunities. I forced myself to get the ball, and I took those opportunities.
What can you say about your guy in that tonight? He was outstanding.
Yeah, Ben, Crown Point game, he had 23 saves, and that was the reason why we won that game. So all props to him for every game. He sits in cage like no one wants to do it, so He makes a huge difference.
All right, Carson, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Bennett. That's our Reliance player of the game. Now time to look at our Big C Lumber play of the game. Had a lot of goals to choose from in this one, Anj, but there's one that really stood out at the end of the first half.
Absolutely. Brooks Clark had one great game, and in particular, take a look at the action here as, behind the back, top shelf. You can't ask for something better than that. Our Big C Lumber big play of the game from Big Brooks. Well, he's not that big, but Brooks Clark with a big play and a big goal right there. Excellent effort. We had said, hey, there's a couple of good goals here tonight, but that one, when we saw it, we're like, that's the play of the game.
So David didn't beat Goliath tonight. Goliath comes up with the win as the Penn Kingsmen go to 8-5 on the year. But as we mentioned, they're probably just outside making the state tournament. Meanwhile, the South Bend Bears 8-8. obviously their offense is explosive. If they can get some things worked out with ground balls and faceoffs, they can be a dangerous team.
Yeah, no question. They have done a great job improving in that area. This is going to be a big momentum. I know you don't want to hear about moral victories, but when you face Penn and you're down the way you were at different times, it wasn't just one time that Penn had all the momentum and was up 5-6 goals. It happened multiple times, and they end up making it a 3-goal game in the end. I think the Bears have a lot to be proud of. It's a very young squad. They do have 8-9 seniors on the team, but it's mostly underclassmen that start for this squad. So they have an opportunity to still grow here come the club tournament, but also then moving into next season.
Hope you enjoyed this one tonight. We certainly enjoy working with this terrific Sports Michiana crew, led by the G-Man, Gary Martin, our producer tonight, with Tony Beltran in the truck directing. Had some help from Chris Skibby. Duron Gray was handling the replays. We had Luke McDowell, Matt Kowalski, and Ryan Fitzpatrick working the cameras tonight. And, of course, our thanks to our friend WSBT 22's Bennett Wise filling in on sideline reporter as Bo Hunt had the night off. A reminder, we have more action for you coming up on Sports Michiana. Next Wednesday night, we'll go down to the baseball field and have the Northwood Panthers visiting the Warsaw Tigers in a key Northern Leagues Conference matchup. We're on the air with the pregame at 5:30 and the first pitch at 5:45, and we do hope you'll join us then. Now, for my broadcast and business partner, Angelo DiCarlo, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Penn 13, the South Bend Bears 10. You've been watching the Spring Showcase on Sports Michiana's Game of the Week.
Thank you for watching the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week. And thank you to all these great sponsors for making it possible. Support us by supporting them.